All right, we'll go through setting up RTrader and NinjaTrader from the Apex website here. Are you logged in to the Apex website?
Not yet. I'll go to, you said Apex?
Yeah, go to the Apex Trader Funding, get logged in, and then go to the tab that says Step 1 Rhythmic and Step 2 NinjaTrader Setup and Key. All right, so once you're here, you're going to go down to, so it says first. First, make sure to download RTrader Pro. Download and install it by clicking here. So click here and download and install.
It's downloading currently.
Cool. All right, so once RTrader is downloaded and installed, you want to open up RTrader. It says Rhythmic Trader Pro right there on my computer. And yours should be all blank. You'll put in your user ID and password that they gave you on your website. So right underneath where you click to download, you'll have a username and a password. And so copy, and you can copy and paste those into the user ID and password. Now down here, yours will probably say market data on. So if you click on market data, it'll ask if you want to disable it, click OK, and then you don't have to put in a user ID and password down there. So copy in your user ID and password. For system, you want Rhythmic. There's several things. I think it may default to Rhythmic 01. You want Rhythmic paper trading, and the gateway should be Chicago area. It probably defaulted there. And then if you don't want to have to enter anything in again, click on this Remember Me up here, and everything will be there the next time that you open up RTrader. And then you just click log in. All right, so I'm going to close mine out, but when you open yours up, there should be 2 agreements if it's a brand new account. If you've opened up RTrader before, if you have Michael, then you shouldn't have to agree to those agreements. But for someone to open up RTrader for the very first time after signing up for a new account, there's 2 agreements to agree to. And one of them is going to ask if you're a professional or a non-professional. You got to make sure that you click non-professional and then agree to that agreement. So once you've agreed to both of them, that's really all that there is to do with Rhythmic Trader, and then you can close it back down and we'll start the NinjaTrader download. All right, so after Rhythmic Trader's all set up, I said you close it out, go here where it says second, download NinjaTrader by clicking here. So click here and do the download and install on it. All right, so this is something new they started doing where when you start trying to download NinjaTrader, they ask for a license key. So just go ahead and use, so right underneath where you click, says the NinjaTrader key. If you do not already have one, and you want to highlight the @ sign also called an ampersand. So at RPT all the way down to the end. I think it's the same for everybody, the 6T, 9E on the end there. So highlight the whole thing and copy that and paste it into where they want the license key.
Okay, yeah, my screen says it's ready to download.
Okay, so get it downloaded and installed. All right, so once you've downloaded and installed NinjaTrader, click on. So NinjaTrader 8 gives you two icons. It should be on your desktop. NinjaTrader 8 and NinjaTrader 8 64-bit is always use the 64-bit. So this was like, it don't say it, but I believe that's 32-bit. And so any computer made today should be 64-bit capable, and then your NinjaTrader is supposed to run better with the 64-bit. Once you get it opened up, it'll probably ask you for a username and password up on first opening NinjaTrader, and you can just, whatever you gotta do to get rid of that box where it asks for that, just get rid of it. And then the next thing to do is to go under the help menu to the license key. And mine's different because I bought a license key a number of years ago. But you want to go back to the Apex website, right underneath where you clicked here to download NinjaTrader. You have the @RPT. You don't want the space before the @ there like I just did, but you want to highlight the whole thing from the @ sign down to the end. It may already be there since they've started requiring it when you download it, but if not, that's where you put it. So you want to if there's something else there, just get rid of it, paste it in there, and then click OK. What usually pops up after that is a message about global simulation mode. So you go to the tools menu, go down here and uncheck, make sure global simulation mode is not checked. So if I check it, you have that there. So click on it and the check goes away. And then the next thing to do is to set up your connection. So you go to the connections, click on configure. Over here, you got to scroll down to the bottom. Your last one should say Rhythmic. I've got a TD Ameritrade account I connected, and I had to get them to add it for me, but you shouldn't need that. So the last one should be Rhythmic for NinjaTrader brokerage. You can just double click on it or click add down here and it'll come down to this box. And then I just call mine Apex. So once you got it down here, it should say My Rhythmic for NinjaTrader brokerage over here. For the connection name, just delete that, put in whatever you want for the name. Yeah, like I say, I call mine Apex. You call it whatever you want to, call it your name. You want to check the connect on startup box.
Hey, Justin, can you pause for a second?
What was that?
Pause for just a second.
All right, so are you caught up with me right here? So with your connection name?
Yes.
Okay, connection name, check the connect on startup box.
Okay.
And then your username and password is what they gave you on the website that you use to log into the RTrader Pro. So the Apex and then the password they gave you. You don't need to check either one of those boxes. And the system should be defaulted to Rhythmic, and that should be fine. So I've got a bunch of options, but everyone else that I've set up told me that they just got one option. And once that's all done, you just click OK. I don't trade Apex on this computer. I copy it over to another computer from this computer. And so once you've clicked OK, go to your connections and click on the connection you just set up, and it should connect if everything's entered in right.
Looks like it's good.
All right, you got a little green button down here in the bottom left. You're good to go. So you want to set up some charts. You want to go to the new menu. And click on chart. And then, so I'm just going to be trading the macros in the trade room. So say if you just want the macros, just type in MES, go down to the third one, should say MES on the left, then future in the middle, macro E-mini S&P 500 future. If you double click on that, it auto-fills the expiration date. Has to be updated once every 3 months. These expiration dates roll every quarter. So in March, we'll switch to a June contract. So we still got a couple of months right now. I like to change my minute to 5. On here, days, you can make it like 15 or 30. And then that's all to do right there. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom, for some reason it defaults to this text and marker. So you make that do not plot, click OK, and your chart should look like that. Are you with me, Mike?
Hey, yeah, I'm with you now.
Cool. So once you've done that, go up here to this up arrow and change it. It says off, local, global. I just use local. Then you got a crosshair. You want to be able to trade on the chart. So go 2 buttons to the right of the crosshair there. Right there is a chart trader. So you got 3 options there. The middle one's chart trader, and that opens up. From there, you right click in this gray section over here on the right, the chart trader that just opened up, and go to properties. And then there's a checkbox that says show realized P&L when flat, or it may say show gross realized P&L when flat. I don't know why, but different people's computers say different, has slightly different wording there. So check that and then click OK. And then the next thing to do here is, but before we do that, you got an accounts menu, so you can toggle back and forth between simulated. So if you just want to make a trade that doesn't count for anything, that's just for practice. And then you can trade your funded account by going to your Apex account. But then go to your ATM strategy and do custom. You got order quantity 1 in the box that pops up when you click on custom. TIF, it doesn't really matter what you have there. Because this has to do with how long the order is good for, and when we're done trading in the trade room, you're gonna cancel, make sure you got no orders anyway. Ticks under parameter, and then down here, target 1, along that line, stop loss, make it 15, profit, make it 15, not 125. And then just save as template. And I call this one contract, 15 ticks. Click save, and then click OK. So it's one contract, 15 ticks. TICKS is what I call it. So I've already got it set up, so I'm not going to make another one. But once you click OK, your ATM strategy should automatically change to the one that you just created. Yes, having a little rebound there. So once, are you caught up to there, or you may hold on for a minute?
No, I'm caught up with you.
Okay, so go back to your ATM strategy, click on custom again. So come down here. I think if we add a row first, so you click on add down here underneath the target one row, and you got target one, quantity one, target two, quantity one. But up here at the top, you need to change the quantity to 2. Because you can have 1 on each for targets, but if the order quantity is 1, you still only will get in 1 contract. So 2 for order quantity here, and then target 1 contract, target 2, 1 contract. Stop loss is going to be 15 on both of these. So 15 and 15. And then under profit, I'm going to do 10 on target 1, 20 on target 2, and then stop strategy. So we're going to use a stop strategy for target 2. So hit the drop-down menu and select custom. For profit trigger, I'm going to highlight it and type in 10. For plus, and toggle up to 2. I'm not going to do any kind of automatic trail. So when my profit gets to hits 10 ticks, my stop will move 2 ticks past break even. I'm just going to click OK, and then save as template. And that's 2 contracts, 15 tick stop. And I'm not going to type it in since I've already got it created. I don't want to make it again. But 2 contracts, 15 tick stop, click save, and then click OK, and your ATM strategy should change to that. Are we good?
Yep.
All right, so the next thing, go up here to the top left where it says chart. I'm going to right click on it, do duplicate window. And now I got the exact same thing I just created. I'm going to move it to where they're side by side. So I got it exact same thing on both sides. I'm going to go to my instrument and type in MCL. So when it's highlighted, it'll all go away. What's there will go away, and you'll just have what you type. So MCL, and then the first option is MCL future micro WTI. See that there? You'll double click on it, and you should have the February contract of the micro crude oil. And there's really nothing to do because we already set everything up. And then you go down here to this tab, you got a little plus sign there, and just to the left, you hover over the tab, right click on it, do duplicate a new tab. Now I got 2 MCL tabs. On the second one, I want that one to be the NASDAQ, but the micro NASDAQ. So I'm going to type in MNQ. So Mike, November, Quebec, only got one option there. I double click on it, and I got the March 2022 contract for the micro NASDAQ, because that's the current one we're trading. that point, should be all set up. There's I don't know if anything else needs to be done. Are you good with all of that, Michael?
I'm good. Just a question. When these contracts renew in February and March, do we have to set these charts up again?
No, all you got to do is change. NinjaTrader actually prompts you. Like you open up NinjaTrader one morning and it'll ask you if you want to roll your contracts to the next expiration date. So that's a pretty awesome thing that they started doing. They haven't always done that. You used to have to do it all manually and know when you had to do it, but they will let you know now when it's time. And they usually do it a day before. I really like to, but I go ahead and do it that day early because if you don't do it on that day, they never give you the option to again. And I've got like 20 charts open on my 4 screens. So rather than do it all manually the next day, I just go ahead and accept it. And so everyone should be trading with me on that day. So anyway, if the volume's usually a tad lower on that day than it is the following day. And so it's usually not too big of a deal. And if you're doing some kind of high frequency trading where you're getting in and out in a second or less, it might make more of a difference, but with what we're doing, it'll be fine. But that's all there is to it.